Detroit Lions fans, this is Detroit Den 313 back with another episode. Stephen Will here, ready to talk some Detroit Lions football. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button and thinking about becoming a member because you can win some free stuff. It's not about us, it's about you. But Steve, that out of the way. What's going down, man?
We caught a break, William. We caught an absolute break today. And by break, I mean Graham Glasgow injury. Not as bad as I thought, not as bad as you thought, not as bad as the world thought. I think there were some Lions fans who had the world caving down all around them, like it was just pure mayhem in some people's households. But we dodged a bullet. I'm not going to lie. It was a scary time. We were going over some scenarios of what ifs, who could replace Graham if something goes down. And I'm not going to lie to you, Will. I spent not an abundant amount of time, but enough time to where I was diving into some rosters today and looking to see some potential cut candidates. And I'm glad that I just wasted my time doing that because it's not even necessary and everything's right. And we're just going to pretend that Graham never got hurt.
I'm good with that. And obviously overjoyed. It was what I asked for my birthday. So I will take that and run with it.
Your 47th birthday. That's what you asked for?
63rd birthday.
I thought you were 63 when I met you, if I'm being honest. So big game tomorrow. By big game, I mean there's people fighting for jobs. That's big. If you have a difference of opinion, that's fine. Some of us think that, this is a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl. It's going to take all hands on deck. Everyone who makes this team is going to probably play a pivotal role, especially if it's anything like last year where we're literally snagging guys off of other teams' practice squads. So my opinion, Will, big game. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree 100%, man. We got a lot of guys that I think could really help this team throughout, just being depth pieces, special teams, and all types of things that'll be playing in that game. So it'll be interesting to see who's the cream that rises to the top and makes this 53-man roster.
I already know the answer to this question, but who do you think is under the most pressure going into this game, Will?
Hendon Hooker.
Okay, thank you. We're on the same page. I think that this is Hendon Hooker's Lions life online here. Like, I think it's on life support, and I don't know that he makes it out of this game as a Detroit Lion. I know I'm aware of what Dan said and the possibility of more than likely carrying three quarterbacks. Well aware of that. His Lions' future is at stake today or tomorrow, whatever time you're watching this show. William, I just, I don't know. I feel like he really, really has to impress because his first three preseason games have been an absolute baby turd. Just not good football, not fun to watch, not good to look at. More negatives than positives when it comes to his play. Are you in the same boat? Do you think that this could be the last time we see Hendon Hooker play for the Detroit Lions? Because I do not count on seeing him in the regular season. Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, I don't know that it's the last time we see Hendon Hooker. I think that we'll probably see him. I think he makes the roster. I think we see him next preseason, probably play some games and compete for a spot. But the bottom line, I think this changes the course of our future. And I think the bottom line is the next season, and not to get too far ahead, but when we're picking pick 32, I think we'll be looking to make a move for a quarterback in next year's draft. So not getting too far ahead. I'm not going to speculate on who the quarterback might be or whatever, but we've got depth all over this roster. We're looking at re-signing our guys and keeping them around. I think the next step to this is getting a young quarterback in the building and starting to teach him the ropes of the NFL, because it does not seem at this time like Hendon Hooker is going to be the guy that we turn over the keys to this Ferrari.
William, I don't know if I'd want to turn over the keys to an 89 Malibu right now, let alone of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Like, I think whatever car I put him in, he's going to crash. I damn sure can't give him the keys to a Ferrari right now. I don't even know if I want to put him through driver's training. Like, that's how bad it's been. Well, I don't know if I trust him to throw a football. I don't want him throwing his hands on a wheel and trying to steer a car at 120 miles an hour. Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a quarterback that gets cut. I feel like we're going to snag someone up and say, hey, Hendon, sorry, just hasn't worked out here. Test the waters in free agency. Maybe a fresh start might be good for you. I'm probably, the odds of me being right are probably very, very slim, but I just haven't thought that Hendon has played even remotely close to good enough to maintain a roster spot.
Yeah, I just think he makes the roster by default, probably ends up being an emergency quarterback if they have any type of optimism in him at all. If they believe in him at all, he'll be the emergency quarterback. If they cut him, I think that just lets you know what it is, and not cheering against them. Um, I, I'm trying to be polite.
We'll be polite, William.
It's I mean it's a guy that's bottom line. He's fighting for his dreams of playing in the NFL, and I don't want to belittle that, but at the end of the day, it just hasn't been good enough, and we just have to move accordingly. So whether that's right now after guys get cut, getting somebody in here to take a spot, or if that's keeping them on the roster, allowing them a little bit more time to develop, and then making a move in the draft, because Brad is on record saying Hendon Hooker over the course of his career, while will it be or whether it be high school, whether it be college, he has taken a long time to develop. He hasn't been one of those guys who's just been, hey, get on campus, plug and play. So for those reasons, I think that they understood and expected that there was going to be a learning curve there. I just don't know that they thought that it was going to be this long. So will they be 100% out, or will they keep chipping away at it? I don't know.
William, when you're 39 years old, we don't have time to teach an old dog new tricks. Okay. It's just, it's time to play football. I've told you this before. When I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut. Sometimes you get hit with the harsh reality that your dreams aren't just going to come true. All right. It's just the way it happens. I don't know. Who else do you think is fighting for their life in this Houston Texans game?
Let's go big boy right out of the gate. Number 99, Broderick Martin. We talked about him a little bit. I think he needs another performance of just getting a pass rush, being disruptive, obviously owning the line of scrimmage. I need more of that. And even if he does that, we've talked about it, there's still no guarantee that he's going to be on this roster because there's a lot of depth in that room. But he definitely can't lay an egg. I'll tell you that. If he lays an egg, he'll make that decision easy. So he needs to continue to do what he's been doing, man, and makes this decision tough for Brad Holmes. You think Broderick has a chance to make this team? Are you still in the same boat as you were when we talked about it the other day, or has anything changed?
No, nothing's changed. I think he has a strong likelihood. I'll say that if he plays like he has the last two games, I think he makes the team. I'd like to see him do it more. I'd like to see him get more reps and have the same type of production and same type of pressure. Fourth in the NFL, all of preseason when it comes to quarterback pressures. I can't just turn my head and ignore something like that. Like, I wrote this dude off back in March, but he's made a fool out of me, Will, and I'm glad because he's a Lion. I hope he does. I hope that this was just the year that he needed to slow the game of football down and learn some leverage and some technique, and maybe it's clicking for him. I just want to see him do it instead of 8 to 10 snaps. Can I get that up to 12 to 15, 15 to 20, somewhere in there? And I can say, okay, like maybe Broderick has figured something out. I feel like the sample size is still a little small, but if he can do it more and play how he has the last two games, I think he's got a real good shot because we've already taken a couple lumps across that defensive line with Levi Onwuzurike being out, Ali McNeil's out for a little bit. I know Wingo's coming back, but we don't know how close he's going to be ready for week one. So there's definitely still an opportunity for Broderick, and I'd like to see him take advantage of it. I don't think anyone had more of an opportunity coming into training camp on the defensive line than him. So I'm pulling for him. He's proved me wrong. I just want to see him do what he's been doing on a bigger sample.
Hey, I want to see it week one against the Green Bay Packers, if I'm being honest. If he makes this roster, I want to see him be disruptive and kind of let's let his career take off. Let's see what we can do, Broderick, man. Pulling for you, man. Western Kentucky. Pride of Western Kentucky.
You know Western Kentucky's mascot by chance off the top of your head?
I can't remember.
Come on, Will, it's the Hilltoppers. Are you nuts?
The Hilltoppers.
I think it's the Hilltoppers. I better double check that. Someone will let me know if I'm wrong. I'm sure of that. Jacob Sailors, what about him? You think he's making this team? I know he's got a big audition. We've talked about him in the past, but maybe we have some new watchers in here who haven't seen us speak our piece on him.
Yeah, same boat. I think Jacob is a guy who is going to compete for a job. He's probably going to have a good showing, but it's just not going to be enough. Craig Reynolds is going to be the guy. But at the end of the day, if I'm wrong, I'd be okay with that. It's either way that it goes. I think that you can't go wrong. It's not like Craig is on some 4 or 5 year deal. He's on a 1 year deal. I think that the Lions are year to year with him for a reason. But he offers a lot on special teams. It's a guy that Brad and Dan trust, and I think Jared Goff trusts as well. So I think ultimately that's just too much to overcome for Jacob, but he's been doing some good things in the preseason. You in the same boat, or you think Jacob's getting on this roster?
First and foremost, it is the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I knew when I woke up this morning, I said to myself, August 22nd, 2025 will not be the first time I've ever been wrong. So just wanted to throw that out there for the world. Yeah. Jacob, I'm just going to say you've had a good preseason, and I wish you the best on whatever team picks you up, because I just feel like we're too deep at running back. I hope it's not a team we have to face. I hope you go to an AFC team that's not on our schedule and you have a good career, a good season. Your dreams stay alive. But I just look at the Lions roster and I say he's not making it as a running back. And I feel like if we're going to carry 7 wide receivers, which is what I'm leaning towards, those bottom 2 wide receivers, Lovett and Meeks, are probably special teamers who could do the same things that he could. So I feel like they have a 2-for-1 role if they carry 7 wide receivers. So I just feel like Jacob Sailors was up against it. But again, he had a good audition. He came into a damn good football team with a good running back room, and he's made a case for himself at the very least. But I think he gets waived. I think someone picks him up. I think he's got too much burst to just sit on our practice squad. There's always a team out there probably looking for a running back 2 or 3, and he will fit that mold for them. So good luck to you. I think you will get picked up, but I just don't see him with the Lions after this weekend.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. But Steve, off of that, what about Nate Lynn? Because he's another one, man, that I think is really, really putting on a good camp.
William, let me tell you something. You can just never have too many pass rushers. All right. You can never have too many of them. All right. It's like bullpen arms in baseball. You can never have too many. You always want some options for some guys who can do different things. And Nate Lynn falls into that category for me. I don't know where he would fit. I don't know where I'd list him on the depth chart, but I have a hard time letting him just walk off the field and not be a Detroit Lion after this weekend. So I don't know whose spot he takes, who gets cut over him. I don't know, but pass rushers are a premium, I feel like, on the defensive side of the football. If you have a good pass rush, it doesn't matter who you have in the secondary. Dan and Brad have both said that last year he had a great training camp, but it got cut short due to some injuries. He never was able to really fully bounce back from that. This year, I feel like he's auditioned very, very well. I don't know how we can cut him.
Oh, hot seat right now. We're talking about Ukwu, or we're talking about Nate Lynn. Who are you taking?
I might go with Nate. It's close, but I think I go with Nate on that one.
Steve.
I know. Yeah, what a surprise. Will's on the other side of the ship.
Steve.
I know. I'm absolutely right.
You're damn right you're right. You take Nate Lynn. Are you out of your mind?
Today wasn't going to be the day I've been wrong.
Yeah, Nate Lynn's the guy, man. I think Nate Lynn. Now, hey, Ukwu, I like you. I said out of Ole Miss, man, you were a guy, even though you're similar to Hendon Hooker, you're 75 years old. You're a guy that plays some doggone good football, man. You made a case for yourself. I think you ultimately end up on the practice squad, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody grabs you up. But I think Nate Lynn is going to be the guy who makes this 53-man roster.
How do you feel about some of these rooks? I know they're going to be putting their uniforms on. That's kind of Dan's rule, is if you're a rookie, you still suit up. But I don't think there's a single rookie on this team that I want to see play football tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching. I'm good with Tesla sitting. I'm good with Tyleik Williams sitting. I'm good with both of the bottom receivers sitting. Well, I don't think I need to see a rookie tomorrow. Like, just sit them on the shelf, enjoy the front row.
I'm going to say this. I feel like if Jackson Meeks does not play, he made this roster. And I'll be for him. I think it'll be a sign that he made this roster. Outside of that, I would expect to see Meeks. I'd probably expect to see Dominic Lovett as well. I would expect them to try to get those guys some reps, because I don't think that they're going to get a lot of reps in the regular season. Even if they're on this roster, they're going to be gunners. They're going to be just kick return specialists, that type of stuff. They're not going to be getting a lot of receiving reps, man. It'll be definitely very, 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 very little. So why not get them some more reps right now? Because if you happen to lose one of those guys, you don't like it, but it won't be the end of the world. So let's get them some more game reps. I would be cool with that. But I'll tell you this, to the contrary, people that we didn't even draft when we were talking about Keith Cooper, I don't want to see him. He undrafted free agent or what? I don't need to see him tomorrow. I think he's a guy that should be on this roster, man. And then a little bit older, a veteran, and Miles Adams, he's another one. I don't need to see him tomorrow. So I'm with you to a certain degree. Obviously, Isaac, I don't need him, man. What do you call him, Steve? Because I'm not ready to say it yet. What is it?
For who? Mailtron?
Yeah, maybe
Who's
try.
Isaac? I don't
I'm
even know
not.
who Isaac
I'm
is.
not. I'm not ready for that yet. But yeah. I don't. I definitely don't need to see him tomorrow. You can just lump him in with the rest of the guys, man. That are veterans that don't need to be out there on the field.
I'm just looking at the Houston Texans depth chart. Their offense, I feel like, is going to pose us a good test even for our backups. When I'm looking at their quarterbacks, I think this is for sure the best quarterbacks we'll see in the preseason. I don't think we're going to see CJ Stroud, but Davis Mills, I kind of mentioned him a couple weeks ago when we were looking at the quarterback room and thinking about maybe pulling off a trade. Keaton Slovis, I know at one point he was projected as a first round pick out of USC. Graham Mertz, pride of pretty much every school in the country. I know he started at Wisconsin, ended up at Florida, and probably a couple other schools. So I think we're going to see a good different mix of quarterbacks from them, and then their running back room the same. Don't expect to see Joe Mixon, but Nick Chubb, I mean, that dude's an absolute monster. He didn't fully recover after his knee injury, but I wouldn't sleep on him. Damian Pierce was their number one running back just a couple years ago. I'm a little surprised that their wide receiver room kind of took a hit. I think we were talking about them last year, how many wide receivers they had. I know Tank Dell's hurt. He had that knee injury late in the year. Nico Collins probably not playing. They just traded Michi to the Eagles a couple weeks ago. So I feel like their receiver room took a hit. But other than that, offensively, I think we're going to see a steady, good offense from the Texans in this game that's going to give us a good test. And score doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I just want to see the Lions do what they've done the last 2 weeks, play some good football. I'm really watching players more than the score in this one. Will, are you in the same boat?
I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Hopefully somebody jumps, man. Somebody jumps out of the screen like Gio Manu. I don't think that he's on a bubble by any means, but let's put together a good day, man. Let's put together a freaking good football game where you're not up and down. He's peaks and valleys to me. I don't want to see peaks and valleys. Give me a whole football game for however many reps you get just out there, just being dominant. Because I think he's got all of the physical tools, man. It's just a matter of putting everything together.
Yeah, we were talking about him yesterday as potentially being our starting guard, like not knowing the Graham Glasgow situation. We were talking about, do we put Tate back at center and who's taking that guard spot? And his name came up. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's another big audition for him. I'm sure he's making the team. I know you're probably going to ask that, but in what capacity? Obviously a backup, more than likely a tackle, because I think that's where he took most of his reps this preseason. So another project player that after this game, I don't plan on seeing for the rest of the year. Hopefully he's on the shelf and our offensive line stays fully healthy through the season. So hopefully this is goodbye until next year, Giovanni Manu, and we'll see how you develop throughout. But I don't want to see you after this one.
Yeah, I think as we get into the season and Frazier gets healthy, he'll be the next lineman in. If we're talking about guard or probably tackle, he'll be the next lineman in by the end of the season. Now, right now, it's probably Dan Skipper if it's a tackle, but by the end of the season, I could see Frazier taking over as he gets his sea legs under him, because I know he's been a little bit banged up. And then on top of that, as he learns the NFL, I'm fully expecting him to be a starting lineman somewhere on this offensive line in the 2026-2027 season.
Got anything else for tonight?
No, that's it, man. I'm just excited to kind of get into this regular season. Steve, it's here. It seems like there was a time where we were kind of feeling like it was never going to get here, and then it seemed like it got close, and then boom, it was here. So it's already time to get ready for the Green Bay Packers, followed by that home opener with you already know that Chicago Bears coach. That's going to be freaking electric. And Steve, I'm getting giddy.
It literally feels like me and my wife were just at Canton, Ohio, like 4 days ago. Like the preseason's flown by. I feel like maybe having that extra game has kind of helped get us through the summer, an extra week of football from the Detroit Lions. So, did you get anything interesting for your birthday, Will? Anything good?
Hey,
I have some inside information.
There may have been some Baltimore Ravens tickets thrown in my lap, man. So yeah, I will be at the away Baltimore Ravens fans. So Lions fans, if you're gonna be at the Ravens game, maybe we tailgate together. I don't know. We're gonna be amongst the enemy, so let's band together and stick together so we're safe out there, man. But I will have my son with me. He's a Ravens fan. I already let him know he will be in Lions gear that day. Line drawn in the sand.
Doesn't he have school that day? Will he's just missing? I feel like we should make him maybe stay home, and education's got to be top priority. Like it's student athlete, you're a student first. I mean, to take him out of school, I feel like maybe there's someone else that like, hey, if you were to ask, like he could probably become free. Like off the top of my head, like probably like a really charismatic, like good looking, charming, strong jawline, looks good in red, always wears a Detroit Tigers hat. I don't know. I just feel like maybe missing that much school.
You think about Michael Erickson? Is that what you're thinking about?
I don't know how good looking he is off the top of my head, but I know he's been one of our subscribers. He's been one of our subscribers since the basement days. I know that since the absolute basement picnic table with a blue cover over it days. That was a long time ago, but I don't know. Well, just school. I mean, I don't think kids should be missing school like this early in the year. Like that's really like when a child's development is like on the rise. It's like that first couple months.
Luckily, he's a 4.0 student. So
well. Maybe a 3.9 if he goes to this game.
We'll see. Well, we'll see what happens. You can negotiate with Kingston, and we'll see what you come up with.
Well, there's no negotiating. I'm just bigger. Maybe it comes down to just a bare knuckle street fight.
Hey, do what you got to do. Whoever comes out on top will go to the game with us.
All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night with a recap. Hopefully, talking some Detroit Lions, wrapping up the preseason. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.